from stupidity. The Patriot, AM 1150. Driving liberals crazy. 3 hours a day, every day. The Sean Hannity Show is back on the air.
This is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is a family issue. And when the president threatens the state of Texas and other states that he'll withhold money, we're not going to be blackmailed by his 30 pieces of silver. He's not going to own our children. Our parents and parents all across America do not want their children showering together. They don't want boys in the girls' rooms. This is unheard of. This is what the president is doing. He's robbing the poorest of the poor if he goes through with his threats, because most of the money we get in Texas over a 2-year budget, about $10 billion from the federal government, guess what most of that money comes to? It comes to the poorest of the poorest for free breakfast and free lunch. So what Barack Obama says, if you won't let the boys and the girls shower together, I'm going to take your money away from feeding the poorest of the poor.
You know, here we are in the midst of an important presidential election, but that's not going to stop the radical president, the Alinskyite, the Acorn organizer, the member of the Church of GD America, the friend of domestic terrorists, unrepentant domestic terrorists, Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dorn, from advancing radicalism. And while a lot of people were busy focused on Donald Trump and the Republicans and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders saying that Hillary can't win and all the other back and forth, well, the president, feeling left out, decided today to release a directive notifying all 50 states, all public schools, that transgender students must be allowed to use the restroom and locker room facilities corresponding to their gender identity, meaning that if you are a male and you identify more as a female in your mind, then you would have the right to shower and you would have the right to use the bathroom facilities of the girls' room and the girls' locker room. Anyway, who you just heard there, that was the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Texas, Dan Patrick, saying, no, I'm not going to be blackmailed. We don't need your 30 pieces of silver. And if you're going to withhold funds from states because they don't go along with your radicalism, well, that's the way it's going to be. Horace Cooper is an attorney, adjunct fellow with the National Center for Public Policy Research. Brian Claypool, a civil rights attorney. Welcome both of you to the program. Horace, what is your reaction to all of this and your thoughts on what Lieutenant Governor Patrick said?
This was clearly intended to create a wedge that will divide America, create a division, and place the most vulnerable students in the state in peril over the decision of some avant-garde pseudo-Marxist re-identification of what gender actually means. And frankly, I'm not even sure we're going to even get to the merits. I think the Supreme Court has already indicated in an earlier decision that this has serious 10th Amendment problems where you're predicating the funds this way, and they're going to likely strike this down.
Well, by the way, and they also had bad news as it relates to Obamacare and its funding. Also, another court decision from earlier this week. The problem is, as it works its way through the court, it takes a long time. So I go on to what Lieutenant Governor Patrick went on to say. He said, so Barack Obama, if schools don't knuckle down to force girls showering with boys and force 8-year-old girls to endure boys coming into their bathroom, he's taking money from the poorest of the poor. The president of the United States will be ending the free breakfast, the free lunch program. That's what he's saying. Now, that's a pretty strong, powerful point, but it's true. Brian Claypool.
Well, yeah, I don't think it is true, and I think we need to look back at who created this problem that we have. It wasn't President Obama. It was Governor McCrory in North Carolina.
Okay.
That's
okay.
where
Listen,
we
can talk about it all you want. The Justice Department, that now has taken how long to look into Hillary Clinton's email server scandal, comes out a week later when this issue comes up in North Carolina. And what do we find out? Oh, all of a sudden, this is now a new civil right that people that are biologically men and boys now have the right to shower and use the girl facilities if they say they identify gender-wise with girls.
Right.
Now, do you think that's? Do you think? Now, my question is: do you think that is fair to put young kids in school in that position, like the president is forcing them to do?
Yeah, I think it is fair, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no better time than now to be teaching tolerance to young kids, not exclusion, given what's been happening in our country.
So when I went to high school, we used to shower, the way they had showers set up is, it's just one huge shower. Everybody lines up, and I always thought it was weird. I never liked it, and I used to not shower, and I even got a demerit. I said, I'm not showering with those people. And that's what I said. And then finally they just realized I was a pretty good athlete. I was a varsity athlete. They left me alone. But they did harass some kids that they had to take a shower with all the other boys after gym. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that. That's bizarre to me. I said, if I'm taking a shower, I'm taking it in my own shower.
So, Sean, what you described...
So the question is, now we're going to force, girls now are going to be forced in some cases to shower with biological men, and you think that's fine, and we shouldn't be concerned about that.
Right, because where's their evidence that this is going to create any harm? Where's their evidence that this is somehow...
What do you need, scientific? Okay, so let me ask you this. So you have a 9-year-old daughter. You have a 9-year-old daughter in school, and let's say the 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds all take gym together, which is not unheard of. And then after gym, all the kids shower. And because there's 1 or 2 or 3 boys that identify as women, so your daughter, 9-year-old daughter, is taking a shower with 3 12-year-old boys. You don't have a problem with that?
Right. Yeah. No. I don't. And by the way, I have a 10-year-old.
I asked you, do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't have a problem with that. Because
you don't?
I would talk to my daughter. No, because I would. It's a teachable moment, Sean.
A teachable moment.
Teach her. Yes, it's a teachable moment that people have choices in this world.
Do you have a problem with that, Horace?
I absolutely have a problem with this. This is exactly the opposite way that people learn tolerance, that people learn differences among others, is it is taught in the home. The President of the United States cannot come with a one-size-fits-all solution. When you mentioned the school shower situation, at least it was the policy of the school district that needed to get adjusted and changed, and it wasn't some a mandate from Washington that required everyone to do it the way it was done when you were younger. What the president is doing is exactly that. And he is saying to the most vulnerable people in the community, that is those recipients, either because of educational deficiencies or income deficiencies, they are going to be the ones punished. That is cruel. Now,
by the way, the one thing that came out after the North Carolina case, and Linda reminds me that the leader was a gay man who was convicted and a registered sex offender, according to documents that were made available to Breitbart News. And Chad, I think Severance is the place, the president of Charlotte Business Guild, which describes itself as a network of LGBT. So it was reported professional business owners, employees, individuals in the Charlotte area who apparently meet to nurture a network of business contacts. Here's the thing. You know something? I don't really care if you want your 9-year-old daughter and you're okay with your 9-year-old daughter showering with a 12-year-old boy or a 14-year-old boy, Brian. Okay, that's your choice. Yeah, but there are a lot of parents, excuse me. There are a lot of parents, including myself, that don't think that's a particularly healthy environment for my 9-year-old daughter. So how about we do it this way? How about you and all your liberal friends, you can have your liberal bathroom areas and you can have all the transgendered back and forth that you want. And then for people that prefer the old-fashioned way where the girls have their bathroom, the boys have their bathroom, and they can have theirs. How's that? That would be freedom of choice, wouldn't it? Free choice? Pro-choice? I'm pro-choice.
Number one, the paramount issue here is whether transgender folk are protected class under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Obama and Loretta
Do you believe in state rights? Do you believe in states' rights? Shouldn't states have the ability to decide? Shouldn't municipalities and towns and cities decide what works for their community without the federal government overreaching and pushing this down their throat?
No, under the Supremacy Clause, what Loretta Lynch was saying the other day was, if your state law is at odds with what we perceive to be the federal interpretation of Title VII, then it has to be struck down, because that's what the Supremacy Clause
is. And that's where this is wrong. This is an interpretation of an act that Congress adopted, and it had never been suggested in any amendment, in any hearing, any markup that it would include this. But to be more precise, let's be clear. When Obamacare was adopted, it included a requirement that if you received Medicaid money, you were now going to have to add these new marketplaces. The Supreme Court said you can't take existing money that you've been giving and now redefine the law, even if Congress passes it itself, and force a state to do it. It violates the 10th Amendment. This isn't even an act of Congress. This is just an interpretation. This is going to fall. And absolutely, Sean, you're
There was a
correct
recent
that
case.
moms
It's
and
interesting
dads
because
decide this.
there are recent cases here. The administration of the University of Toronto was recently enlightened a little bit on why two separate bathrooms are generally established for men and women sharing co-ed residences. Now, the university is temporarily changing their policy on the gender-neutral bathrooms after two separate incidents of voyeurism were reported on campus, and this happened this past September 15th and 19th, where male students within the university's Whitney Hall student residence were caught holding their cell phones over female students' shower stalls and filming them as they showered, which was exactly the type of thing that some people that suspect this is not going to be healthy in the long run would acknowledge. Now, how about this? How about we let students decide for themselves? Maybe if schools want to add a third bathroom, a gender-neutral bathroom, and you want to force schools to pay for an extra bathroom for transgender students, if there are such students in the school, how about we just give them their own bathroom? Then you can have male, female, transgendered. Is that fair?
Hey, Sean, have we heard anything about the thousands of transgender students that have gone to the bathroom with no problem at all? No, we haven't. At the end of the day, Sean, I happen to know a transgender woman. She was born a man. She's now identifies as a woman. I will tell you that a lot of these transgender folks just want to be accepted. They want to be accepted in the world as to who they identify with. What
about consideration for people? What about consideration for people that find it extraordinarily uncomfortable for them? Do we care about their feelings at all, or you just don't care?
Well, what are they uncomfortable
well, okay,
with?
because I think a 9-year-old girl. I think I think we're over sexualizing young kids anyway. But we're talking about public schools here.
Absolutely, we are.
So we have You're perfectly comfortable with a 9-year-old girl showering with a 14-year-old boy. A lot of parents, I would argue the vast, overwhelming 85% of parents are saying no way.
Well, if that's the
Not
case,
only that, the child psychologist associations say that 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10-year-olds need to have some protected space before these concepts are introduced. If you are interested in bringing that to your child, that is a choice that society will allow you to do. But why would we say we're going to mandate that everyone do it when the science simply doesn't say this? And to the degree that there are individuals who are being disadvantaged, there, as Sean has mentioned and others have, there are ways to accommodate these individuals. The size and scope and the numbers of people involved do not require this kind of disruption.
Well,
it's precisely because of the wedge that the president is seeking.
Well, look, I think money talks. Money talks. And look at North Carolina. Look at how many businesses. You got Deutsche Bank, PayPal. They're not expanding. Businesses threatening to move out. Artist Bruce Springsteen not playing there. I mean, that's going to happen in a lot of other states too. So you don't think?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down and I'm going to buy property in North Carolina. How's that? Because I think they're being treated unfairly. I think they're being forced to do something that the majority of North Carolinians don't want to do. How's that?
Well, if that's the case, if the public sentiment is in favor of your conservative view, Sean, then why is there such a backlash in states like North Carolina?
I don't think it is the backlash that you claim it is. There's no backlash. I mean, if you're saying Bruce Springsteen can stay home in New Jersey, who cares where Bruce Springsteen plays? You know, seriously, you can watch a concert online. Go watch on YouTube. You don't have to pay a penny.
That's not a North Carolina backlash. That's an out-of-state person who's attempting to influence what happens in the state of North Carolina. But even that behavior, which I'm not supportive of, it's at least constitutional. If you don't want to open business in North Carolina, what the president is doing is almost unprecedented.
That's right. Here's what I would say in final. I don't think any American wants to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't think any American really cares about the private sexual gender identity issues of other people. But with that said, a whole society society should not be blackmailed to accept and to change what is the societal value system or risk losing government money, which would gravely negatively impact especially inner city schools, etc., if they don't follow suit. That is way over the top. It is an intrusion of the federal government of the worst kind. 800-941-SEAN, toll-free telephone number. You want to be a part of the program.